ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Town of Lexington Planning Commission. This is our normal monthly meeting being held at Town Hall at 8 a.m. Wednesday, July 20th, 2022. This meeting will be broadcast live on the Town of Lexington's YouTube channel and will be available viewing for the town's information cable channel 1301. I am Frank Berry, the chairman of the Town of Lexington Planning Commission. Other Planning Commission presidents are.
Good morning, Jarrett Harrelson.
Morning, Sammy Hendricks.
Good morning, I'm Brian Amick.
Morning, Jeannie Michaels.
Good morning, I'm Jamie Fight.
Good morning, JT Stevenson.
Good morning, Joe Robertson.
Good morning, I'm Britt Poole, Town Administrator.
Good morning, I'm Brad Cunningham, Town Attorney.
At this time, I would ask Jeannie Michaels if she would lead us in the invocation.
May we pray? Dear God, thank you for enabling us to gather here this morning. May we have meaningful discussions that will help us build each other up and glorify your name. Help us to deal with the different challenges that we have as a team. It's all in your Son's name. Amen.
This time, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This time, I will call the meeting to order. There's no deletions or adjustments to the agenda. You've gotten the minutes in front of you. Is there a motion to?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. It is unanimous. We have no public presentations, no old business, new business. Item number 1, simple property subdivision of the Kmart Shopping Center located at 700 block of Westminster. John.
Morning. You have a handout that I gave you before the meeting that references this item. Ryan Malta with Baker & Baker has submitted a request for a commercial property simple subdivision of the Kmart Shopping Center located at 748 West Main Street. The purpose of the request is to facilitate the redevelopment of the center. The effect of this will be to immediately allow the old Kmart building to convert to climate-controlled storage and to allow the Circle K at the front of the center to be redeveloped on a larger parcel. Additionally, a single large parcel will be created where the Maurice's Barbecue and Kestner's Automotive are located, and a new second row parcel will be created for future redevelopment. During the redevelopment process, the plan proposes to eliminate 4 existing access points on West Main Street and convert a 5th to a restricted access drive. Finally, the plan creates a common signage plan for parcels 1 and 2 located at the rear of the site. And the subdivision is on your screens there. And I'm here to answer any questions if you have any questions.
I got a question just for clarification. Of the redevelopment, if this moves forward to redevelopment, the 2 drives of Circle K go away, correct?
The 2 directly on West Main Street will go away, yes. As I understand it, the Circle K is ready to move forward, so that proposal will happen rather quickly. The other curb cut changes will proceed as leases are renewed or changed, or
So it will be mandatory if they're renewed a lease that they have to.
well, I think the intent is to eventually, for those other 2 properties, to combine and to have redeveloped, but there's some time left on those leases.
And so the access would move to Topsider, I'm assuming?
Yeah, or the centralized driveway
right.
in the middle that will convert to right in, right out when the Kmart redevelops, and that one is fairly imminent as well. The hanging parcel, the hanging issue is the to where Maurice's and Kestner's are, as well as the second row, if you will, parcel. Those are not fully developed yet as far as what will go there and when that will happen.
You said the developers here? You have any comments you'd like to add value to or anything of that nature?
Sure, my name is Ryan Malpa with Baker & Baker. The idea here is just to allow some flexibility with future development of this parcel, so what we're not left with long-term is a sea of asphalt between the properties, so trying to utilize that. If you look at the site plan, you'll notice those out parcels are very shallow in comparison to other out parcels, which will limit our ability to redevelop that corner in a meaningful way long-term. The leases on Kestner's and Maurice's expire in 3 years. They do have options. We don't know if we'll exercise them. If they do not, the option to develop those parcels would be limited. So this would allow us to have a substantial width and depth parcel on that corner so we can do something more meaningful long-term. And then allow us to develop that asphalt parking lot in the center and then have the storage facility in the back. That allows us the most flexibility to have the most options in front of us as we consider the long-term options that we have with this particular parcel.
So you are thinking about that big centerpiece as not being
That's right.
parking something else?
It could add to the corner parcel. Let's say Maurice's and Kestner's decides not to renew, then we have even more, 3 to 4 acres there to do something. Let's say it becomes a QSR and they need 1.5 acres, and we're left with that strip. We have test fit various options that go in that middle parcel, and it does fit quite a few things. So I think that we will have some options long term once we're able to do that. The issue is if we add depth to those out parcels, if we allow Circle K to expand back into our parking, if we take the Kestner's and Maurice's deeper, then we lose parking, which means that the Kmart won't be able to park 110,000 square feet. If we allow that to become storage, now we can develop in front of the storage and allow that to be second row and in the back. That's the concept that we're pursuing.
Any other questions, comments?
What's the timeline on the storage facility?
We've had, in our pursuit of trying to redevelop that center, we've had several calls from storage users. We have one teed up now that should this be approved, we are told that they will go in their contract with us. I have 2 images of 2 of the flags they typically use. I don't know which one they're gonna go with, but that's the 2 they sent us that they're most likely to utilize. And we are in negotiations with Circle K to allow them to expand back. So should this be approved, those 2 things will happen pretty quickly. And then they will have to submit permits to the staff level, and they will take care of all the remaining requirements, the curb cuts, and whatever the storage users will be required to do. The Kestner's and Maurice's are under a lease, so that will have to run its course before we can do something with that.
I'll just make a comment. I appreciate the restriction and consolidation of accesses through here. I know with all these driveways,
About 7 right now.
yeah, a lot of left turns in and out, and it can get pretty hairy out there.
And, it does have good access even with the elimination of the individual partial curb cuts, because you have roads on each side and a center drive. So I think we won't be hitting any.
Chairman, if I'm finished, I have one more thing I would like to add to that.
Please do.
That when you separate this into different parcels, as they redevelop, they will all have to meet current standards for landscaping and that type of thing. So you look at that sea of asphalt out there and what's the parking lot now, that doesn't meet our landscape requirements. And so anything that goes in there will have to meet our current setbacks, our current landscaping, our current, because it's a separate freestanding parcel now instead of part of an overall commercial. I think that will help beautify that area a little bit as well. You've got the proposal for the Circle K. It doesn't include all the other, landscaping requirements and buffers and green space and things like that that we would require.
Not to count those 2 curb cuts in the front go away and they can landscape that strip.
Exactly.
And the Circle K is gonna have to update and upgrade as well, right?
Exactly, yeah. Yeah,
They're
the plan is, the plan is, we've been presented to us, is they will demo what's there and build what's in your package.
They approached us to try to put their new prototype on there to maximize the value they have from their lot, and they can't do it because they're restricted by the size of the lot. So they would need us to acquiesce and give them a portion of our land, which has started this kind of domino effect of issues.
We have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you, sir. We're looking forward to it. Item number 2, amendment to the section of 155.03.07 of the zoning ordinance, required setbacks.
Over the last few months, Town Council has been discussing amendments to the zoning ordinance for protected residential 2 developments. We provided you with a draft of that ordinance for the work session that we worked through last night. I think I've provided this morning what I think we came to on the agreement on the draft of the draft. This ordinance has gone through first reading with Town Council, but state law requires a recommendation from the Planning Commission for any changes to the zoning ordinance, or as item 3, the sign ordinance as well. So if you would like, I can go through 8 different items and where we are with those, or, Mr. Chairman, it's up to you. How you want to?
Can you do that?
Okay. So the first section of the proposal would require a 15-foot buffer of common area that is owned and maintained by an established homeowners association to be created around the entire perimeter of a project area. This is for townhomes, patio homes, duplex, any type of development like that. Setbacks for the individual structures within the development will be measured from inside of that common area. All residential lots will have a minimum width. The original proposal was 25 feet. I think where we came to last night during the work session was 24 feet of road frontage, unless the lot is alley loaded, in which case the lot width can be reduced to a minimum of 20 feet of road frontage. Side yard setbacks for individual freestanding homes, this would be your patio homes, would be no less than 5 feet and a minimum of 10 feet between the actual units. For townhome and duplex buildings, you'd have a minimum 7 feet side yard setback with no less than 14 feet between structures. We changed the proposal for right now in the current ordinance. If it's an alley loaded product, it can be, the front yard setback can be waived down to 10 feet. We changed that to allow that to be waived down to only 15 feet. We installed a requirement that townhome buildings can only have a maximum of 4 units under one roof. We included a requirement that for a townhome project that there be a minimum of 2 feet of variation between individual units, so you don't have one big long facade there with no context. and allowed for corresponding adjustment to the rear yard setback to accommodate that. And then we get to the item number 8, which was the green space discussion. The proposal has variations in the requirement of green space based on the number of units that are proposed for the project. And the way we left that last night was that that item needed some additional study or discussion. So what you have in front of you doesn't have any of that changed.
All right. I think there was some, first, thank everybody for last night. It was a marathon. I think we got here about 8:30. But we had a good discussion amongst everyone that was in attendance. I think we're all in agreement 1 through 7, and this morning we had some discussion about the furthering of the green space. I believe we came to a consensus that being that we're gonna do a 15-foot buffer around the entire project, we're increasing the side setbacks to 7 feet. We felt like 25 feet would be, it currently is at 20 feet. We would add 5 feet to make it 25%. 25%, I'm sorry. I got it written down. Increase it from 20 feet to 25 feet. Percent.
You got foot and feet in there.
I got foot on the brain. So that was what we discussed this morning. Is there any further discussion or recommendation based on that?
Make a recommendation, I guess, to approve the items, as mentioned, 1 through 7, and then number 8, to go to 25% open space, 15-foot buffers.
Got a motion, do we have a second?
Second?
Any further discussion on it?
Make any motions for the other change?
My motion said 1 through 7 as
1
stated.
through 7 as
Oh,
stated.
you did, okay, I didn't hear.
And we're directing item number 8, which is a variation of the green space percentage, to go to 25%. From 20 that the current ordinance has.
All the questions.
All right. So we have a motion to accept the first 7, change number 8 to 25%, and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Again, thank y'all for the time last night. Todd, thank you for coming last night too. Giving us input. As well as Kevin Stillman, developer here in the community as well. Item number 3, amendments to section 159.03.002 and 159.07.03 of the zoning ordinance to commercial center signage. John?
This is a similar item in some ways to item number 2, in that this is a topic that town council has discussed over the last couple of months. We've provided a ordinance that town council had first reading on in June, which changes 2 sections of the sign ordinance. One is one section, in the sign ordinance, right now, you can put a 1 square foot sign up without a permit. It's under the exempt sign ordinance. One section of this proposal is to increase that to a 2x2 size sign without a permit. A long discussion about that last night. Y'all can discuss that this morning. The second section addresses commercial center signage and is intended to eliminate some of the conflicts that we see with the Board of Zoning Appeals on commercial center signage. The way the ordinance currently reads is if you're within a commercial center, you get one wall sign and you get one space in the group development sign for that commercial center. And we oftentimes have businesses that will come and request variances to allow them to have a sign on the back of the building as well as over the front of the building in situations where the back of the building faces, Highway 378 or a major roadway. Lowe's, I think, is one of the ones we discussed last night. North Lake Drive, there's 3 units in there, and they all have signage on the back of the building. They're required to get a variance. So the proposal would rectify that situation as well as increase the size of a sign that is allowed without a permit.
All right, we had a lengthy discussion on this last night as well. So, do I hear a recommendation, motion for this item?
I think in talking about section 1 in our discussions, I think we all came to the consensus that the 1 square foot may be too small. I think, quadrupling that size to 4 square feet may be too excessive. I think somewhere in the middle, 2 feet seemed like a good recommendation. 2 square feet. Square root of 2.
All right. So is that in the form of a motion, or I think we need to address all the issues in a motion, because they're not separate. If I'm reading this right, section 1 would stay as written, John. Section 2 would change to 2 square feet, and section 3 is eliminated.
That is what we discussed last night, yes.
Section 4 becomes 3.
Yeah, we'll fix all that. We just need to know what it needs to say.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you very much. And thank y'all for last night. Educational as well as very informative. Anybody from the commission have anything they'd like to add? Brett?
I don't have anything, sir, but I believe that, Councilman Carnes has some announcements.
Call him next. Mr. Carnes?
All right. Appreciate y'all, appreciate your service and what you do. A lot of people don't realize our town's driven by a whole lot of volunteers like yourself, spread across 8 or 9 committees. So we really appreciate it. A few announcements for everybody. Sister Hazel will be at the Ice House on July 23rd. Show starts at 6 p.m. Tickets are $32 each. The market at Ice House Amphitheater continues each Saturday from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. through the end of September. Each week there are about 60 vendors with fresh produce, unique handmade items, and more. And finally, for the Love of Hops Craft Beer Festival is Saturday, August 20th at the amphitheater. There's a theme here. There's a lot going on at the amphitheater. Tickets are on sale now and are $30 in advance, $40 the week of, and $45 the day of. To purchase tickets, you can go to icehouseamphitheater.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in to Planning Commission this morning.
Is that it? Thank you, sir. else have anything? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Motion and a second. All in favor, please raise your right hand. Thank you for watching the Town of Lexington Planning Commission in action. This meeting was held at Town Hall at 8 a.m. Wednesday, July 20th, 2022. The recording of this meeting will be aired several times during the week on the Town of Lexington's Information Channel 1301, and it can be viewed on the online at the Town of Lexington YouTube channel. On behalf of the Town of Lexington Planning Commission and staff, I wish you a good day.